Hello and welcome to How to Minecraft 101, episode 3. And this one we're going to hell. I'm sorry to break it to you, bud, but we're going to hell. This is a key part of the progression line, I'm sorry. Remember that portal we built last episode? Yeah, we're going there. It's gonna be great. So, first thing you're gonna want to do before you go there is you want to empty out all your extra stuff you don't need. Like, everything you think you might not need. Just get rid of it. I would say bring a tool set, shield or two is definitely good, and bring a lot of food. Like, you can never have too much food. So a lot of food. Before you go, I'm gonna bring some hay bales, and so in addition to that, you're going to want to bring extra flint and steel. Your diamond pickaxe is important, and also wood. And I'm gonna go time lapse and get that. I will be right back. Now we got some wood. There's one more thing you're probably gonna want to bring with you, and that is you're gonna take some gold you have lying around, and you're gonna make one piece of golden armor. What this may be is up to you. I recommend either boots or a helmet. A helmet has more durability, and you're sacrificing the same amount of armor, but boots are cheaper. And it's still good to keep your iron helmet on you. But once you've done that, and you should have no inventory that looks something like this. Bring the extra gold with you. You will need it. You don't need the gold, though. And also bring a lot of cobblestone. You're going to be building quite a lot. I would also recommend, in real life, getting a notepad or something, or just something you can write stuff down in, because, yeah, you're going to want to write down your coordinates, because you do not want to get stuck in here. Because if you do, you will die, since getting food is a big difficulty. If you happen to have a bow and some arrows, that is optimal, but you don't need to have a bow and some arrows. Right back. Thank you, future me, for cutting that out. I was just getting a pen and some paper to write down some coordinates on. So you've got your tools, right? You got your blocks, you got your food, and you got your helmet, you got your extra gold, and congratulations. You're ready to go to the nether. You're not going to have a fun time. I'm sorry to spoil it to you. I mean, you might. And, yeah. Welcome to the nether. There's quite a few different biomes here, and we happen to land in the basalt basin. And what we're looking for is a nether fortress. Now, I like to do all my nethering in one run, so... And we're going to be here for this entire episode. So first thing we do is we write down our coordinates of this, because we do want to be able to get back here if we need to. 32, 68, negative 21. You can turn your difficulty to easy in here, but I'm not going to. But yes, welcome to the nether. Large magma cubes, you don't want to take on with a sword. You will lose. I'm sorry, bud. My best advice is to play defensively. Like, really defensively. Remember, you have blocks. That's also important. Blocks can get you out of just about anything. You can cheese most mobs with them. And you can also do a lot of blocks. You can cheese your way out of just about any fight. You can survive anything, granted you don't have any residual damage that'll finish you off. And that is a giant magma cube. And they do a lot of damage. As you can see, unless you have a bow, it's best to run from them. Don't do what I did. Don't do the thing in the tutorial that is teaching you how to play. No. You either shoot them with a bow or ignore them. And, You can spawn in different biomes, but what you're mostly looking for is a nether fortress. And I'd recommend, even if you don't decide to mark your path all the way, just build with blocks as much as you can. It makes moving around the terrain easier. Also, seeing blocks that don't naturally spawn in the nether is a pretty good path back home. Also, you won't need your water buckets. It's not going to do anything. And then just keep on moving. This is going to be a fun episode, because the nether, you kind of have to be quick on your feet. You can't just watch a guide on how to nether. Basically, it's be careful, be patient, and hope you brought enough food, and don't get lost in this dimension. It is very difficult, but as long as you are careful, you should be relatively fine. And, yeah. You can crouch on magma blocks like that to avoid taking damage. There's some gold. We want that. Gold is very good. I'm going to take my helmet off and replace it with iron, because we're not in the biome where... basically, there's these things called addons, and they will get mad at you if you're not wearing any gold armor. So you want to be wearing gold when you're in the biome they spawn in. Unfortunately, or fortunately, we spawned in the basalt basin. And over there, we have the warped forest. As you can see over there. Here, I'll make it a bit easier to see. There, warped forest. Don't do that. You will, it's not safe to do that. But, piglins can spawn there, so make sure to put your golden hats on. And endermen. And endermen you do need for the late game, so we're gonna try to kill as many of those as we can later on, but not right now. Right now, we're trying to get at the stuff you really need from the nether. And to most importantly, be careful. Especially if you don't have a bow, because per se you didn't have a chicken farm. You don't have a bow. Which means you can't shoot down gas. Which luckily for us, we haven't encountered any. But they are scary when you do encounter them. And although, even though you have a lot of blocks, use them, but don't use them super aggressively. Like, if you use too many of them, you will run out, and then you can't do much. I mean, you run out of blocks. Hope your pickaxe is strong. The only reason I'm using a lot of blocks here is so I have a way to track back, because in this biome, if you get jumped on by a huge magma cube, there's not much you can do. I believe you can shield them, although it's difficult since they're so huge. But it's best to avoid them normally. And as you can see here, we have came across the, okay, that should do it. The warped forests. Okay, that's a magma cube. Ignore them. Just don't interact. You don't want to interact with them. You want to minimize your interactions with those demons. They are the most threatening thing you'll come across in the nether, except maybe a ghast. And this biome is infamous for its endermen, which is great since we need ender pearls for a late game thing you do later. So I'm just gonna chop this. And since they're 3 blocks tall, I can cheese it. It's just pretty easy to cheese them. As you can see right there, we got an ender pearl. Don't get them every time though. And we want to get a lot of those, but for now, we're mostly looking for a fortress. And make sure to pick any of these you see. These will save you in the future. Although not really in this biome. If you're wondering what I meant by the warped fungus, basically, in a different biome, which we didn't actually come across in this episode, and we probably will come across in the future, there's these crimson biomes, which have hoglins, which are these big pigs, and they will rush you, and, okay, don't fight one of them head on, you will lose, but if you place these on the ground, they will run away from it, which is very useful. Oh, over there, that is nether gold, and that is nether, quartz. Quartz is useful. You do want to grab some of it, but it's not something, it's not an essential. You more want to be getting gold on your first run, because, A, you can get a lot of it, and also you need it for when you run across piglins, which surprisingly I have not. Yeah, we're just gonna mine this real quickly. And a few things you want to watch out. First is gas. Future me can edit a photo of them, but I'll describe it. I'll be easy on them. Gas are big white things that fly around the sky. They're really loud. You will hear them coming. Future me can play an audio of them. Well, I bully this Enderman way too aggressively. That is not what you're supposed to do. Unfortunately, past Alex kind of said he didn't do that on purpose. I said he did do it on purpose. Didn't do it on purpose, so I can't make that excuse. Yeah, I was kind of being an idiot there. Past Alex isn't the brightest. Yeah, don't rush Enderman without a plan. Without some blocks above your head. Even then, you want to have a good amount because they can take the blocks above you. Yeah, past Alex has been an idiot. He didn't realize this when he got his stuff back, but he actually... I did lose quite a few things. I lost gold in all the gold I brought, and I think some of my armor. And I also believe I lost the wood. But other than that, didn't lose much to the lava. But yeah, don't do what Alex did. Yeah, you don't rush Enderman head on. It will backfire, as you can see. Don't do that, okay? Learn from my mistake. I would like to say I did that on purpose, but I didn't. So I'm gonna try to make that educational and go to the what you do when you screw up. That was not intentional. When you screw up, grab blocks, grab some blocks. All you really need is a sword, a blocks, and a pickaxe. Okay, that's all you need. If you, sword, blocks, pickaxe, and armor, because you will get nay on if you don't. Maybe I should listen to my own advice and not fight the Enderman. Get all this. This is all you need. Just once you got this, just run. Put the rest of there. Boom. Run back. Now, if you did it right, the path you can follow should be pretty easy. You probably want a shield, although you can in fact live without it. Because you're mostly going to be moving, and shield's best for when you're trying to confront something. Remember, your stuff only starts despawning when it becomes within a certain distance of you. So, a trick you can do is, turn down your, entity distance to 50%. This way, entities, like your, items won't load in soon. Whether or not this works, I don't know, but it's worth keeping in mind. So, once you've gotten... Okay, that's a giant. That's a magma cube. I think I saw a giant magma cube up there. I think that's where we died. While stuff is loaded in, which it is now, see how I'm close to where I died at? Or close-ish, I believe. There's a 5-minute timer, and mind you, this timer only starts going down while you're nearby the item, so... As long as you're not moving super slowly, you should be fine. And don't provoke any Enderman along the way. Or whatever kills you, don't try to ignore any confrontations. Even though Ender Pearls are good, it's not worth the risk. Especially when you're not using your main gear. Yeah, just keep running, Boom. We got my stuff. Some of it probably fell in lava, though. I was relatively lucky in that, though, so... And I got a majority of it back. Yes. So there's a few things you can do after you die. You can either, A, keep on going. I mean, you'll have some extra stuff on you, but... Or you can head back home. Or you can plop down a chest and leave any extra stuff you have. I'm personally just gonna keep going. But you can do whatever you wish. Um, it is worth noting that Enderman will not shred you if you're on easier difficulties, but, I mean, I play hard. I like the challenge, but after you have done what... Okay, that right there is a zombie piglin. They don't really care what you do. And that is a bastion. Don't touch the bastions yet. They have good loot, but they're also very dangerous, and it takes a lot of cheese, and some small screw-ups will kill you. So, just keep on traveling to the nether, and will you look at that. You're looking for nether brick like this. This is a nether fortress. Nether fortresses are the only reason you're actually here, because nether fortresses block off quite a bit of your progression. In addition to that, they have good loot in it. So, once you found one, you want to look for blaze spawners like that. And you just want to bomb rush them. Might use blocks, it depends how many blazes are there. And once you're here, the first thing you're going to want to start doing is start blocking the thing in. Make sure you're absolutely safe and you're not going to get harmed by being here. You want to just be you and the blazes. And keep in mind, when you're close to blazes, you take melee damage. They do melee. Just by being close. They don't have any animation or anything, but they do attack with melee, so that is worth keeping in mind. But box yourself in. Kill everything that spawns, and stay here until you have a good chunk of blaze rods. These things here, these are the main reason you're here. In addition, first thing, this gives you quite a few things. A, gives you a lot of XP, which you can use to enchant stuff and upgrade stuff later, which we'll get onto that in a while. That's probably going to be next episode, which is going to be villagers, probably. Don't quote me on that. I'm not too sure yet. Depends how this one goes. But camp the spawner out, and if it's fully boxed in, you should be fine. Sometimes they'll spawn in bigger batches, but especially on Bedrock Edition, they spawn in bigger, but there's no attack cooldowns there. But just tank out, and I would recommend making an exit point that you can leave safely, so that if things do get too spicy here, you can make a speedy exit. But you're going to want to stay here farming blazes for quite a while. I recommend getting anywhere from 10 to 30 blaze rods. Anyways, I'm going to time-lapse this. After you have risk your life to the RNG gods enough to get a sufficient quantity of blaze rods, you are almost done in this horrific place. The next thing you need to do is, well, what I like to do is find a bit of chests, but after you've gotten those end rods, you can go. You don't need to be here anymore. But some of the loot you can get from here is pretty good, and we don't have any. There's one more thing you kind of want. You don't need it, but it is nice to have, and I'm going to assume you go to find it, since I mean, you're in here now. You might as well get everything you ever have to get done that you can done, so you don't have to go back here for the longest time feasible. Next thing you want to do is you want to find a, or you can do this first if you want. You want to find yourself a almighty nether wart farm. They spawn relatively, okay, there's one there. And they spawn relatively frequently. Ooh, chest. For a moment. Oh no. We agitated some piglin. Okay, this little red stuff, you want it. You want to get... As a wither skeleton, you run away from those. They're 3 blocks tall, so they're like endermen. They do a lot of damage, but they're 3 blocks tall. So you can cheese them. But unlike endermen, and they're also used for fighting a boss. But luckily their boss is actually harder, the two, but, you've been running around the island, you're looking for chests? Aha, bingo. With saddles on. Saddles, boom. That's the second thing we really came here for. There's only one more thing we need, and of course, that is actually nothing else. We are ready to hightail it out of here. I'll take any diamonds we get in the meantime, and I would recommend taking your shovel and getting as much nether wart as you can. And I'm gonna drop the helmet because it's so low durability. I'm gonna drop the extra iron armor because I need inventory space and we gotta go fast. And iron ore. I don't know why I have that. So next thing you need to do before you head out, which is well, you need to find some nether. Not nether wart. You need to find soul sand, which is the stuff the nether wart grows on. And once you, I'm totally disoriented. Give me a minute. I need to shut up so I can reorient myself. Ah, there we go. This stuff the soul sand grows on. You need this to grow it in the overworld. You don't need a ton of it. I like to get a lot of it, but you just need to have some of it. This is used for making potions, which aren't great, but they're really nice to have. I mean, they make your day sufficiently less lethal. And you can get, like, fire resistance, which doesn't just, it makes you immune to fire damage, which is really good. You can get strength, which makes you do more damage. You can get speed, you can get invisibility, you can get a lot of really good things from potions. Some people call them noob juice, and, you know, partially correctly so, but, I mean, really, they're really will make your day significantly easier, especially against the Wither when you fight that, and also future Nether Fortress trips, because you're gonna need more blaze rods, probably, in the future. I mean, you're gonna need more blaze rods. And also, there's some farms and stuff you might want to make. Okay. At a single blaze, you can kind of bomb rush them. Just don't rush the group. They attack relatively slowly, but the fire, it really hurts once you get hit by a bunch of them. And if you're being rushed, there's a bunch of them, but otherwise you can bomb rush them. But yeah, just explore, be careful. If you see a wither skeleton running your way, just speed build something like this. And that'll block them from you, and then you can chase them. A regular skeleton isn't gonna do you. Oh, don't do that. Grab those bones, and now the next thing we're gonna look for is we are going to try to find a way out of here, or a way back. Now our way back is that way, but there's a blaze spawning there. Eventually, you're gonna want to make an auto farm, but for now, I mean, you want to be out of here. You'll see glowstone like this. Mine some of it. You're not gonna get another chance at it. The stuff you find in the forest is pretty easy to go back to, but going back to a fortress is kind of a pain. But mine any glowstone you find. You will need some of this for later. Once you grab that, next objective is to get out of here. Okay, wait for that blaze to fire. Bait him out of fire. And these funny little guys. You give them gold, they'll give you stuff in return. Unfortunately, my wood burnt up, so I probably should hightail it out of here. Or my helmet breaks. You can mine gold ore, but not around them. They will get agitated. Now, that doesn't stop me, but generally you don't want to do that. If I die, well, I mean, I guess I was far away. Why am I doing dumb stuff in the tutorial? I don't even have the excuse of why not. This is supposed to be informational, doing the things that I'm supposed to do. Anyways, now I've done my daily doing thing I directly said not to do, I want to find your way back. Coordinates can come very in handy for this, especially if you brought blocks, and you can mine them up for the way back, but, I mean, it boils down to, remembering your path, which you kind of learn to do over time, and that is an Enderman. I learned my lesson. So run back, then you will have laser rods, which are used for potions, and that's a lot of Endermen, and I kind of really need those stuff later, but we will be back, but we won't go back to the fortress. We won't go into lava either. And when we are back, we will have fire resistance potions, and many other things to make us not die as easily. I'm not sure if you heard that beeping noises. I don't know what it was either. To those of you who are asking. You may be wondering why I am not time-lapsing right now. Well, that's because something pretty spoopy is about to happen, so yeah. Eventually, you should have something that looks kind of like this. I mean, it might look better, and it probably will look better, and it might look worse, although not likely. I'm just gonna light this place up, because I gotta place torches. And then you're gonna want to take the nether wart you got, and just right-click, plants like any other crap. Luckily, nether wart doesn't actually need anything. You can, it'll grow on just about anything. You don't need anything special, like water or lava. It'll just grow on soul sand relatively quickly. And then, you can take the rest and put it in a chest. I'm personally actually going to have a chest next to my brewing stand for potions. Ingredients, and these and these, and you can put some of these. Be generous with this, because you do need those for other things. And that's just about the end of the video, but I did promise I would go over netherite in this one, so, and we're also going to make a few more crafting stations before we go. So first thing, like some more iron. Yes, you're always going to be using iron. And first thing we're going to make a smithing table, an anvil, and a sawmill. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to take some cobblestone and dump it all in here. Yes, you don't need to put that much in, but you'll need it for later, so it might be nice to have it on you. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find some wood, which I'm out of again. I will be right back. Hello again, and now you're going to want to take wood, and you want to take it there, and you put it like so. And boom, smithing table. You're not going to use it, but I'm just going to put it on the floor right here. You use this in combination, so you take a diamond tool, and you take a netherite ingot. Now, the way to get netherite ingots is you go in the nether, and you go mine a certain layer. We'll probably do this in the episode after the villager one. And what you're going to do is, you're going to find these like little things. They look like kind of like cinnamon rolls. They're brown. They're called ancient debris. You can only mine them with a diamond pickaxe, and you mine those, and you smelt them, and you make, and you get netherite scraps, and you take 4 netherite scraps and 4 gold ingots, and you can combine them on this smithing table to make a netherite pickaxe, which is pretty good. Before we do that, we're also going to make an anvil. Now, right now, this isn't very useful, and in order to make this, it is kind of expensive. You take iron like a show, and you need to get 3 blocks of iron, place them like that, and then that, and boom, you have an anvil. A few more things. First thing, we're gonna go back to we're gonna go to bed. There's a few more workstations you want to make. We'll make those in a minute. But first, there's the next one, which is gonna let you make your gear upgraded. Make your gear even stronger than it already is. And you thought your diamond pickaxe was as good as it was. No, it's crap. You're gonna make another one anyways. You're gonna want to go to your sugarcane farm if you planted these earlier. You probably should. If you didn't, that's fine. Or if I forgot to mention that, that's not fine. And that's gonna make me want to redo the series even more than I already am. But you want to take your sugarcane you've been growing. All that hard work you've done is paying off, I know. And now I prefer not to use this method, but for making your tools enchanted, as it's called, and basically you make them shinier and give them special things. But you'll see in a minute. So you take your sugarcane. You could be responsible and grow more sugarcane with it, or turn it all into paper, like so. And then remember that leather you collected from murdering animals? Yes, a significant amount of progression is locked behind that. You find where in the world you put it. We'll be right back. There we go. You take your leather, and you take your paper, and you take 3 paper, like so, and you take leather, and you make a book. And you take some obsidian that you got from earlier, and if you only got 10, well then, karma on you, you need that now. And you take the 2 diamonds like a show, obsidian like that, and you take the book, and boom, enchanting table. And yes, like all the others, this needs its own room. We don't put a block there. So I'm going to make mine right here. So we're just going to take this area out in the corner. I would recommend making it a 5x5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Okay. And dig this out. I'll be right back. Once you've made a 5x5 area, first thing, put some blocks in the corner, and you can even take some of that glowstone you got. If you got a lot of it. Yeah, the glowstone dust you got from breaking the glowstone, you can make a block, but this is entirely aesthetic. And in the middle of the room, put an enchanting table, and I'm going to put a glowstone block above it so I can see better. And you put your tools in here, and you put lapis, and you can enchant them, which makes them better. Like sharpness makes it do more damage, and Bane of Arthropods is spider repellent. But first thing you want is you want to make some more bookshelves. So you take books, like a show, and you take some wood, and you take that, and you do that, and boom, you have 2 bookshelves. Each additional bookshelf within, like, this close to the enchanting table makes it slightly stronger, although not by much, so you're gonna have fun with that. I'm personally gonna put some enchantments on my tools, and I don't plan, but I'm gonna do the armor first, because, I mean, armor's yes. And every time you enchant something, it gives you options. I mean, so let's say I enchant my chest plate. I'm gonna give it just protection 1. My pickaxe, there's different options. Now, I'm not gonna go for breaking 2. I'm gonna enchant my helmet. I'm gonna go for respiration 1, so I can breathe in the water. And I got protection 2, which was pretty lucky. Check this, nothing good. Check the sword, nothing good. Take leggings, I'm just gonna get prot 1. Check the pickaxe, nothing good. Check the sword, nothing good. Enchant the boots with depth strider. Check the pickaxe, nothing good. Put the sword in. No, not the water bucket. The sword. I'm just gonna put sharpness 1 on it. Check the pickaxe, nothing good. I'm going to enchant. Oh yes. I can't. No, you can't do that. I'm going to enchant the axe. But I'm gonna make a new one because the current one's pretty low durability. And I don't want to waste enchanted experience levels. And this also uses the levels that you collected earlier. Yeah, those things, this is what you spend them on. Take the axe. Efficiency 1. I'm just gonna take efficiency 2 in my pickaxe, and now you are a shiny person. I know, it's brilliant. You look amazing, okay? And I believe that is the end of this. Let me just use big brain time, make sure I didn't forget anything. I don't think I did. And okay, I just had to make sure I was recording the whole time. And yeah, I'm gonna go edit this. I will see you all next episode if you actually look. Yeah. Goodbye. Bye. Go. Go. Go.